That was absolutely magical. How on earth did I get the truck so packed like that so quickly? Yeah, I wish magic like that just happened. Part of camping is packing, so let's take a deeper look. This is my first truck. Before this, I had cars. And you could just throw whatever you wanted to in the trunk, close the trunk, and you didn't have to be concerned about things like rain and wind. So when I got this truck, I went to one of our big box home improvement stores and picked up a few of these tubs so that I could deal with the situation of traveling, because I've got a cab full of family and a dog. So I didn't have anywhere inside to put storage. So I didn't want to just sit our backpacks and pillows and blankets in the back of the truck. These tubs are pretty good size. You can see here our sleeping bags and a few camping pillows. We can hold about like 4 backpacks in these tubs as well. And they're really handy. Like even if you're going to a hotel and you've got a truck, I can just toss these things on those carts you find at the front desk and just roll them right up to the hotel room as well, and just put them in the hotel room, open up the tubs, and everybody can get their stuff out. So that actually has made it easier for me when I get to a hotel as well. So the same goes for camping. You just don't have the carts to wheel them around. For the actual specific camping gear, things like mallets and hatchets and stakes and 550 cord and all the little details, I used to keep stuff in a big deep tub. And it was really frustrating because it'd be hard to find all the little things that would fall down to the bottom. So I got these shorter containers, multiple ones, so that I can hold stuff in there and it's easier to dig through them and find what I have in the tub. And I'll show you a little bit later in this video. Let's take a break from the back of the truck and look at the truck door. When you get to your campsite, the last thing you want to do, especially if it's dark out, is be rummaging around looking for your flashlights and all your storage gear. Put these in your driver's side door. Easy to find when you arrive there, or if you have any other problems along the way, you'll know where they're at and be able to get them. And as you can see, I got a multi-tool in the door as well. Whatever else you can think of that you're going to want immediately upon arrival, just stick it in your door. I like having a variety of different shaped containers. This red container, it's cheapy. I bought it, I think, at a after Christmas kind of deal, but it's really been great for holding extra blankets and pillows. But the Mr. Heater Buddy portable heater fits in there really well too, so I keep it around for that. But it is cheapy. Every time I lift it by the lid or the lip of the container, I feel like it's cracking and breaking a little bit. Probably need to invest in something a little sturdier. And don't forget your cooler. It's always nice to have some drinks along with you for the drive, even if you're not going to be cooking upon arrival. Save a little bit of money over stopping at gas stations and picking up drinks for everybody. So there you have it, all packed up for this trip. Not quite as much stuff in this haul as in others because we didn't pack for cooking on this trip. But I always love this part. It's like playing with Legos. My wife actually refers to me as having a Lego mind because I'm really good at stacking dishes in the dishwasher, and the same goes for loading up the back of the truck. I just want to get it all fit in there. We were expecting some rain on this trip, so I went ahead and put a tarp over everything. I like that netted bungee cord system that I got at Walmart. It's got hooks down both sides, and it's a pain to detangle it after you've stored it somewhere, but once you get it all put on there, it's really nice how it holds everything down and keeps it from flying away. This was the first time that I tarped it down under there and had to readdress the tarp. It's just the situation there because it did start flapping in the wind while I was driving. When your campout's all over, you get to play the game all over again. I always like to pack everything up and just kind of lay it beside the truck so I can kind of visualize what needs to go in. Helps me to kind of figure out where I'm going to put it all. And this was the trip as well that was around Christmas time, so I wound up needing to take some extra stuff back with me. Even the propane tank. I forgot the propane tank on the way up, so it required me to restack everything as it was going back in. But as you can see, I had to buy these clear containers. I bought them to match the other shallow ones so that they all stack nicely. And that's what I used to get the Christmas gifts in. And I liked it really for adding snacks and other food items for our next trip. I like those clear containers. Didn't use the tarp for the way home because everything was nice and sunny on the way home. So I just put that bungee net over everything and we were good to go. So I paid attention to the fact that I had filled up the truck and we didn't have any of our cooking gear with us as well. So I decided that I needed to change something for our next camp out. So I got this Magellan folding hitch carrier that can go into your receiver on the back of your vehicle. This one was a pretty good price. I think it was about between $60 and $70 at Academy, the Magellan brand one. And it was pretty easy build, and I like that it fold up as well. And I want to say it had like a 500 pound capability. Trying to see on the box here. But it was pretty nice. It was not too difficult to build. Some of the holes didn't seem like they were matching up at first as I was putting it together. But overall, this thing was pretty great. And I went ahead and got a locking bolt to secure it to the hitch assembly. Some friends recommended this, and I decided it was a pretty good idea. It wasn't too expensive. I think I got that at Walmart for about $15. Using the bungee cords that I had to tie down the coolers to the hitch carrier, I knew that this was going to get me in trouble with the cops. You can't even see my license plate. So we went off to Walmart and got some shorter bungees so that we could separate it out so you could see the license plate.
I don't know how on earth this thing got dirty. Hadn't even been out of the box for 24 hours yet. Alright, now I can stick on the adhesive.
I decided it'd be a good idea to add some reflectors to this hitch carrier. That way, if anybody's approaching me, they could see, in the dark anyway, they could see this thing a little bit better, bouncing off their headlights. So it was pretty neat how I just bought this, used the adhesive to stick it on there, and I did go back later, I don't have it on the video, and added some screws as well to keep it on there. But it wasn't too difficult to put it on there. I mean, I didn't have any problem. I like how the holes lined up perfectly. Oh, and you can also see that I can actually move the license plate to the back. There's other holes back there that line up for the license plate too. So I'll be doing that for the next trip so I can put even more stuff into this hitch carrier. I like how this hitch carrier folds up. It's pretty nice. I would say that's good for when I'm at the campsite and I need to drive around somewhere and pick up some firewood or some ice and bring it back to the campsite. But for the most part, on a daily use, this thing's going to get put in the garage. It stands up pretty nicely, didn't fall over or anything, even with it, the hitch receiver part being turned in. It stood up nicely. Alright, let's take a look inside of one of these small bins. As you can see, it's dirty on top. I left it dirty on purpose. I wanted y'all to notice that it's taken some rain. These things have sat out in the rain, they've gotten rain on them and got a little bit dirty. And it keeps everything inside dry. So that's one of the things I'm happy about. And honestly, there's been plenty of dirty stuff in my video here, and let's be honest, if you're camping, life is not going to be perfectly clean. These little clips come from IKEA, and they are awesome for keeping your chip bags closed, your cereal bags, a lot of different things like that. They do a great job of keeping stuff sealed. My mom comes to visit and has some Raisin Bran in my house, and nobody else eats it in my house. And I've sealed it shut with one of these, and she came back a year later, and the Raisin Bran still tasted fresh. She was shocked. I was shocked. We love these clips from IKEA. These fire starters are so old. How are they still working? I bought this foldable saw both to use at my home and in my neighborhood. We actually help people trim up their trees in the neighborhood if they don't know how. And then it's great to take along with the camping gear. If I need to be able to go collect some firewood, it's nice to be able to have something like this that I can saw some pieces down. Of course, Texas State Parks, they don't want you collecting any firewood, so then it becomes useless. It's a good idea to go through your camping storage just to kind of remind yourself of what you've got on hand. Look to see what you can straighten up. Like a lot of these cords that I've got in here look terrible. I needed to do some maintenance on those. So this is just something that is good practice and helps you remind you of what you've got. Help remind you how many batteries you may need to buy. Help remind you if you need any more bug spray. Things like that. This little electrical timer sensor is pretty nice to have. If you feel like taking some lights along to decorate your campsite, it's actually really nice. If you're new to camping, you're probably like, what? Decorate? Yes, people take along Christmas lights and other types of patio lights with them, and we'll string them up. It's really nice, makes the campsite look nice, but it also helps you on a pitch black night when you're coming back from the bathroom to really know where your campsite is. So this is kind of a cool thing to bring along with you so that you can actually set it up to turn on when the sun goes down. If you've cut any of your rope or your 550 cord strings, anything like that, they will get frayed like this. So it's good to cut them again, get them shorter, and then take a lighter or a match and just kind of burn the end. It won't make a huge fire or a nasty mess that you have to put out. It'll just melt it and kind of seal it shut. And that way it'll last longer without keep fraying like it was. So I like the shallow tubs, but there are some things that just won't fit into them, like our coffee pot, or these dish pans that you can see through this see-through tub here. So I bought a taller one. It actually fits, so they stack together nicely, and that way I can hold bigger things in there. I still wound up getting into the same trap where I'm putting little things sinking down to the bottom, but we'll keep working on that. I used to be in the restaurant business. I know the guacamole recipe. I probably won't share it with you because I don't want to get sued. This bag was supposed to be just all knives for professional chefs, but I decided it was great to take along spatulas, spoons, and flippers, as well as knives. So that way it was an easier way to store those and keep your fingers safe when you're digging through your tubs. I need to pick out a few more items that I'd like to put in here, but this thing's been pretty handy. It was a gift given to me when I used to manage Chipotle. So in my last video, I actually did a little demonstration showing you how this little single burner worked. This thing is pretty awesome, and I especially liked how they made the can of the butane propane mix. The way that it's concave on the bottom and this cup just fits right with it. And then I can put the little burner inside the cup and band it all together with a rubber band. It actually works really well. This is meant for backpacking. I put it in our regular car camping kit because it's super easy for me to be able to heat up some water real quick for whatever. Usually Tanya wants some hot coffee first thing in the morning, and so I can get this thing going real fast and get her some hot coffee, and it's just easy to take care of. So I really like this thing. It's really awesome. We got the little burner off of Amazon for about $11. All right, that's it. I'm not showing you any more tubs. I have more tubs, but you're not going to look at any more tubs because that was boring. Boring as heck. Honestly, what are you still doing here? You need to get out of here. Go camping. All right? Happy camping, y'all.